Good evening and welcome back to Prime of Midlife. It's Saturday night. As you can see, we are trying a different lighting scheme. Instead of using the fluorescent light, which seems to be giving off a strobing effect, Kathleen has one of those ring things. So I think this is the first time either of us have used it. So there you go. This evening we are talking world affairs because, as we all know, things kicked off a bit yesterday in the Oval Office between Presidents Trump and Zelensky and Vice President Vance, I think it was. And that's not so much what I want to talk about. What I want to talk about is what that means. Because I don't know about you, but I am definitely thinking that President Trump seems to be quite happy to build a relationship with Vladimir Putin from Russia. Now, most people certainly in Europe, most countries in Europe, are pretty wary of President Putin. They're pretty wary of his intentions, pretty wary of what he's doing in the world, what he wants to do, and the fact that he has taken over or has invaded Ukraine for no apparent reason seems to be sort of forgotten by President Trump. He's like, I can make a deal, I can do this, I'll speak to Putin. And for a lot of us, certainly from reading posts that I've seen on various media, social media, etc., this is quite a problematic thing. Now, the good thing that's come out of it is that the UK has said that they're going to increase their defence spending, which I think can only be a good thing, because to rely on others for your own defence is never a good thing for a start. But also the fact that President Trump is saying that he's not prepared to be with Europe if needed is the impression that we're getting from what he's been saying. You're like, okay, so that's NATO then finished, because that's what it was it's North Atlantic. It was America was one of your main ones with Europe. Showing my ignorance here, I don't even know if Canada's in NATO. I'm presuming it is because North Atlantic. But it just seems that things are changing, and things are changing fast. And the fact that Russia seems to be being brought back into the fold, so to speak, concerns me. So yeah, I'm probably not making myself very clear. I probably don't have very clear thoughts about it, but I certainly am very clear that things are changing. The world order is changing, and we're not quite sure how. We're not quite sure how it's going to end up. But definitely it's not going to be the same status quo that it has been for, say, the last 20 odd years. And I think that it's a good thing that certainly European countries start looking to look after themselves. As I say, increasing the defence spending. And I think it's going to bring a lot of changes. I don't know what they are. I just feel that things are changing and we need to be able to look after ourselves. So for me, that is things like, I'm going to get the dehydrator out again. Well, saying that, it's never gone away. Because the whole reason I got the dehydrator was that if there was energy problems, even if I lost the stuff in the freezer, I would still have dried stuff that I could use. So I could still make soups, I could still make stew, you know, whatever, with the stuff I had dried. So I'm going to be doing that a bit more, I think, and just making sure that I've got pretty much as I can. I'm just wary. I'm not sure what's happening. And when I'm not sure what's happening, I like to try and keep everything as useful as possible in my little world, you know, in my house for me and mine. I want to make sure that we've got everything we need. I want to make sure, you know, things like get the house checked, make sure it's okay. Get the car checked, make sure it's okay. Things like that. I'm just having a thing. You know, I've said that before. When you have a gut feeling that's just not going away, I call it having a thing. And I am definitely having a thing about the world in general, and that it's changing in ways that I can't particularly comprehend because I don't know what's happening. I don't think anyone knows what's happening just now. And it's just a case of make sure you're okay as best you can. And that's my plan for the next wee while. So now I am going to turn off this really bright light that's in my face, and I will catch you later.